the length and number of the questions asked so far.
Thank you very much for the questions. I think some of them, as the Honorable Minister for Government Communications pointed out, are better directed, to some of my colleagues in some of the sectors. For instance, if you ask what will happen to CBG, that is better answered by the Minister of Finance and the Governor of the Bank of Ghana. Now, with respect to Abdul Kumanov, the arrests have been effected, and you know that when arrests have been effected, you don't go straight, to court. You need to conduct an investigation, prepare a docket, and then you proceed to charge. So that is taking place, and we are taking a very serious view of all electoral, violence. Okay, violence arising out of or in connection with all elections in this country. So for us, it's very comprehensive, and the president has, made it very, very clear that it doesn't matter which side of the political divide you belong to. We will investigate and prosecute, all of them. Now, when it comes to the illegal mining, prosecutions are taking place. Okay, we are prosecuting. In fact, we have decided that we are setting up more special courts. Okay, under the New Patriotic Party government, the former Chief Justice Eni Yeboah, designated certain courts as special courts for illegal mining prosecutions. Okay, so we are going to expand those ones, and then also when the tribunals bill, the public tribunals bill, is ready, I have submitted it to Parliament. We'll be sending a lot of them to the public tribunals at the district level for prosecution all over the country. In respect of deported Chinese, as the Honorable Minister has pointed out, I don't have the statistics. Okay, these are better gotten from the Minister of Interior. Now, on legal education, the question was a bit lengthy, but what I picked up are two things: bridging the gap between the private law schools and the public law schools. Now, I don't know what you meant by bridging the gap. If you are talking about government support, someone who establishes their private, university, has the obligation to find resources for that university to, operate, in terms of, being able to run all its programs and so on. So it is not a duty. If government wants to subsidize them, that is a different matter. That's a privilege, not a right. So I don't think that government will be pouring. In fact, we are having difficulties funding all the existing public universities. And to add the private universities to our load is not, I think, a very prudent thing to do. The second thing that I picked up was with respect to the promise to reset legal education. And that is very, very important. And that promise is that we are going to reform legal education in such a way that access will be expanded. Okay, so that currently we have thousands of LLB holders who cannot get to, to become lawyers because they cannot enter the Ghana School of Law. All right, we want the bill that I have drafted and which is will be submitted to cabinet this month. Next month. Is to the effect that we are going to literally abolish the Ghana School of Law system. All right. Basically, what we are going to do is that you will have 3 years of legal education to obtain your degree. That is the LLB. After obtaining the degree, the LLB degree, you now do what we call either the clinical legal program or the bar practice course in the university where you got your LLB for another academic year. And then you write what we term the National Bar Exam. Okay, so everybody who has the LLB and who has taken the bar practice course in their school, in their university, all right, will be entitled to write the National Bar Exam. So it will be like what the accountants do. All right. Once you qualify to write the examination, the Chartered Institute of Accountants will administer the exam, and everybody can write. And if you pass, you become a chartered accountant. That is what is going to happen in order to expand legal education in the country. So the bill, as I speak, in fact, is interesting that you asked, because I forwarded the final draft to my able deputy, an academic, Justice Remsai, to review and then give me his input before we submit it to cabinet. That was just only yesterday that I sent it to him. Then there is a question of the assigning of the properties. Okay, that was something that the shareholders, kept saying. You see, the whole case centered around these related parties, activities, okay, transactions, okay, where Holder Holdings, Uni Securities, of course, in the press release, you remember the 0.3 billion, which was given to, which was given to Uni Securities, which is a SEC-regulated entity, which is being pursued. Okay, so the whole idea, that is why the misconception being spread by certain elements, certain citizens, to the effect that Dufour and his family were basically looting, resources from the bank, is misplaced. Okay, these were all related entity transactions. Okay, and I will encourage all of you, you should probably read the Beige Capital Court of Appeal decision, because the scenarios are the same. All right, so they were insisting that, look, if these are properties held by related parties, simply just transfer them to Unibank, and then you will have you have recovered enough to be able to satisfy the liability. But that was something that was in dispute in the case. Okay, now with this settlement, it brings all those matters to rest. Secondly, you asked about the ECG. Prosecute. Yes, but that's what I'm coming to. Yes, so the missing containers investigation, I was given a preliminary report on it. Okay, I reviewed the report and I sent it back to the Director General CID to do further investigations. I directed them, and that is what we do in the office. When we read an investigative report and we see gaps, because all that a defense lawyer needs to do is to raise reasonable doubt, okay, and then the case will be thrown out. In order that we prevent a situation where reasonable doubt is being raised, we seal the gaps before we charge the people, and we have sent it back for them to be to do further investigations. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. So we'll take another round of questions. As